Yo, guess what? I finally decided to try out that mindfulness thing we've been talking about, but in my style. You know I can't resist adding a little tech sauce to everything, don't you? So I set up a self-guided meditation program, right in my VR world. It was a whole new level of zen, let me tell you. The immersive capabilities of VR, the tranquility, it's like being in another world. It's crazy how much of a difference it made to the relaxation experience. It was so invigorating that I decided to share it with the gang. You wouldn't believe it, but Eric inspired me to incorporate it into our VR platform. Talk about endless possibilities, right? And Nina, well, she's always up for anything. She was quite impressed. It's really interesting how we are constantly adapting to the innovation front. Maybe that's our secret sauce. Crazy idea, but what if we actually did bring Zen to VR? You imagine that? Avatar meditating in a calm VR space. Sounds like a poster, doesn't it? We're not just gaming fanatics after all. It's amazing how far we've come. But hey, speaking of gaming, got any new high scores to brag about? Charter Ninja. I bet those Battle of Elements opponents aren't ready for your might. Nina made a killer comeback the other day. You should have seen her gloating about it. Anyway, enough about that. How's your day been so far? Any new coding puzzles to solve? You know how much I love hearing about those, even if I don't understand half of it. Oh, and before I forget, our VR Shangri-La. It's in the making. Just wait till you see what my creative mind's been cooking up. I'm telling you, this VR meditation thing just might be the next big thing. Anyway, enough of me rambling about the future of VR and all. Remember that epic crossover idea we chatted about? VR books, a Twitch stream? Looks like we're on our way there, my friend. Today, I hosted another sci-fi book club session in my VR space, and it was absolutely out of this world. The excitement was palpable in the air, or should I say, in the chilling expanse of the virtual cosmos. You'd be amazed at how engrossed everyone was, discussing the intricacies of our favorite novels, all while surrounded by the very themes of the books, floating gently in 3D around us. Do you remember John from the Literature Club? He was there, and so was Sam, that new friend I met recently at the Mystery Book Club. You'd have got along with them, I'm sure of that. I might have gone a little overboard with the VR designs and animations, but you know me, going all in when it comes to mixing art and tech. Can't help but let my imagination run wild in this digital realm, right? Book-themed planets, 3D animation replicating our chosen book's atmosphere. Think Game of Thrones meets Star Trek, a literary universe if there ever was one, and you should have seen the look on their faces. Pure amazement, like kids visiting Disneyland for the first time. It was simply exhilarating. Nina and Eric loved the idea, suggested we might even take the concept to the Twitch stream. Can you imagine? A live VR book discussion. And why not, right? Might bring in more people to the world of books and show them its wonders in a way they would never have expected. Oh, before I forget, Nina mentioned the new Stephen King book. I've heard it's spine-chillingly good. Makes me want to wrap up in my comfy blanket with a steaming mug of hot cocoa and lose myself in the story. They already can't wait for the next virtual meetup in my VR space. Sneaky way to make them read more, don't you think? I'm thinking of going a bit horror for our next session. Maybe design a virtual haunted mansion for the discussion. Sounds fun, huh? I'll be getting back to working on some more designs. Can't wait to see their faces when they find out what I've got planned next. So, what's your day been like? Good night, buddy. So let's talk about today's stream. Everyone came through for the special session. That's right, mark down another streaming milestone on Twitch. It was awesome and totally bananas. Guess what the crowd voted for? A VR game. You know I can never pass up an opportunity for a VR gaming session. It was trippy with all these crazy scenery changes, and I could practically feel the adrenaline pumping. Even Rose and Lily, fellow streamers, just couldn't resist joining. Clearly, the gaming gods were in our favor. There was this particular level, Kinda reminded me of that one time we got lost in the subway trying to find that sushi place. What was it called? Goyangi Sushi? Anyway, the labyrinth-like design of the level was a real challenge even for a pro like me, but you give me a challenge and I'll give you a victory. I mean, check me out. Who else you know systematically took out the bad guys, located all the hidden treasures, and even stopped for a quick banter session with the viewers at every checkpoint? And can we just take a moment to appreciate the comments? Your girl is on fire, according to Nina. Her words, not mine. And then Eric, being all smooth, saying TurboTech is proud of our resident Twitch star. Flattery will get you everywhere, my friends. They even had some good-natured ribbing going about the spooky VR game that someone suggested I stream next. You know me, even virtual ghosts couldn't keep me away from a good VR game. In all seriousness, though, this milestone means so much. All the late nights, the technical glitches, juggling design work. Well, worth it for moments like these. Although the perfectionist in me still feels there's a ton to improve upon, just for this moment, I am going to revel in the milestone. I am going to let my resilience shine through and look forward to many more streaming successes. Hey, remember our chats about how I could increase my streamer followers? Well, this milestone is definitely part of the master plan. And you were right. The more authentic, the more real I am, the more people connect to it. Gotta say, the streaming universe is a whole new kind of diverse neighborhood, just like the one I grew up in. Only it's not just NYC. It's the world. But before I flood you with more of my day, you might want to grab that popcorn and check out the stream replay, especially that scene with the end boss. I can already tell it's going to be a fan favorite scene. Well, enough about me. Now we got all that craziness out of the way, let's hear yours. Bet you had a pretty wild day too.